color. First, I want you to pull out a square. So reminder to do that, you're going to grab your rectangle tool, hold shift, and make a square. Boop. Currently, this square is white with a black outline. I know that because of this. We have swatches. Swatches are predetermined color choices that Adobe has picked, but there's hundreds of, might be more than hundreds, of colors available in Adobe. So we're going to use the color picker first. To fill this a different color, we're going to double click on the white. And this is called the color picker. We can get pretty exact in this. The bar right here allows you to pick your hue, so any color pulled directly from the color wheel, from red, orange, yellow, blah, 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 all the way. So I want you to pick your favorite hue. I love red, orange. I'm going to go about here. Now, just dragging the stopper there is not going to choose your color for you. Right here, we have two boxes here actually, and it shows you your new color and your previous color. In the top right corner is our most saturated version of this hue. So this is the most red-orange version of this red-orange. And now you can see up here, that's my new color, and that was my previous color. So I'm going to press OK, and there is my hue. Yay! Let's just label it hue, just for the heck of it. Hue. If I want to know more about this color, let's double click on that again. This is our RGB value. So if you're working in light, in web design, RGB would be the R value is 243, G value is 110, and the B value is 33. This is the hexadecimal value. So if you are actually working with a web designer, you would use this value to send to a web designer, and that way they can get this exact color. That's weird. Huh. Well, whatever. This is going to be our hue. And this is our CMYK. C, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K is black. This is the value we're looking at because we're working in print. But, so here's my hue, okay. And say I'm going to want to be able to use this hue over and over again. I can actually add this hue to my swatches. So Window, Swatches, boop, 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 boop. Swatches also looks like this little group of squares. And if I wanted to add, I like to make my windows a little bigger, but if I wanted to add this color to my swatches, I could just drag it right over. And when you see that little plus, it will add right to the end. So now when I want to go back to this color, I can choose it directly from my swatches. So that's a nice little feature so that you can go back to the color that you want. All right, we're going to duplicate this. So to do that, I am going to hold Option while I'm pulling it away. And I'm actually going to hold Shift, which means it's going to go perfectly aligned. And I'm actually going to make another one. Option and Shift. All right. So that's our hue. I'm going to put another text box, and I'm going to say tint. And I'm going to put another text box and say shade. So tint is a hue with white added. Shade is a hue with black added. This is really easy to do, to make a tint and a shade here from the color picker. If I open this again, here's my hue right here. And to get a tint, I just move to the left. Oop, that's a little too light. There's a tint that I like. And to get a shade, oops, to get a shade, I'll double click on that. And I move down, down on the right. So here's a tint of that color, here's a shade of that color. I'm going to show you another way of doing this. Another one of our very good friends in color, when we're working with color, is something called Color Guide. So let's pull out another two squares of this hue. I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to pull them down here now. And another one right here, beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to do a complement, a complement. And so if you go to color, this is sort of where we can show our options, and that will give us our measurements here. But if we go to color guide already, so if I choose this, this is our base color now. This is the color that we're working with. And our base hue, it will give us, that's right here, we can put shades in right from here and tints in right from here. So when you're working in a monochromatic palette, which you're going to have to at some point, you can choose from right here and know those are already going to be shades and tints that are aligned with that color. You can also choose this drop down, and a lot of color theory has been put in here for you. So you could look, I know this is red orange, and because red orange is my favorite hue and I'm an art teacher, I know the complement is blue green. But you might not know that off the top of your head, and look at this right here at the top. Complementary color is blue green, and it chooses it right there. Hooray! And all right, so now there's our complement. Let's put a little label on that. Complementary. And now let's do our other color relationship. So tint and shade, this would be a this would be a monochromatic here. And complementary is across each other from the color wheel. And then analogous, I'm going to make another copy. Analogous is 2, 3 or more values next to each other, or sorry, hues next to each other on the wheel. So we can look at this, still our base color, and choose here, and we can go to analogous. Oh, lovely. There's actually a couple different analogous ones, but I know red-orange can be surrounded by red, orange, yellow-orange, red-purple. I sort of like the red-orange to red, so I'm actually going to choose for myself. Get a little bit more red here. Boop. Okay. And I'm going to do like a, oops. And I'm going to do a more orangey orange for this one. So this would be, oh, that's a little bit too yellow for me. Let's do this one. All right. So now I have my like red, orange, red, and orange here. So this would be analogous. Analogous. And I can even just put like a little boop, boop. And monochromatic, boop, boop. And complementary, boop, boop. So there are my color relationships, color guide, swatches. I taught you how to add a swatch, how to look at what color you're choosing, how to change the hue that you're choosing, and change the value. High saturation is up in the top right corner, and as we move away from that corner, we get less and less saturated. So these, they're starting to look gray already, and those would be less saturated versions. And that is a basic color introduction. We're going to start applying these color relationships and using these tools in the next lesson.